YAJ effect. YAJ effect. YAJ. Welcome to YAJ. Welcome to YAJ.
Hi, everybody.
Oh my God! Every weekend we gotta go through this.
You know what? Don't push it, mister. All right, what if? If you had to choose between spending the day inside or outside, which one would you choose?
Inside.
Outside.
Inside.
I want to be outside, especially today. Today was really nice.
Inside, because it snows.
It ain't snow today. It was actually 50, 57, 58 today. It felt good.
Love the fam. Love the grandbabies. Get well, Susie.
What's wrong with Susie?
She did something to her foot.
Uh-oh.
Tomorrow is the Super Bowl.
Oh,
good luck to whoever wins, Tom Brady or the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, tonight's supposed to be the snowstorm. Another one-day storm. What else?
They said 3 to 5 inches.
Yeah, well, I don't care. Also, Tuesday is the impeachment trial, which I will not be watching. And what else is happening?
My mother's birthday is on Wednesday.
Who?
My mama's birthday.
Oh, happy, yeah.
Her birthday.
And also, this week, Antonio called me a white boy, and he told me that he was off on black. What's that thing called? For black people.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Black History Month, and as you notice, I'm black, he's not, and I had to work. But I was crying when he told me you have to work for the man, and I was like teary-eyed and everything. I was like, well, okay. Before I get this started, which tonight's is going to be Draw the Line, I just want to say I was watching some dialogue from people on Facebook. I'm not going to say any names. I just want to tell you why I'm bringing this up. And what was said was that, some artists had used a racial slur and he got reprimanded for it or whatever. But, and in response to that, it was also said that if we can't use racial slurs, how can blacks call themselves the N-word? Okay, I was going to type it out, but when you see someone has their own opinions and they cannot look beyond their nose, 2 things I want to say to you. When you're talking about the N-word, who invented it? And the reason why I say that is because the people that invented it were the only ones who could read. According to our history books, blacks could not read or write. So therefore, they could not invent the N-word. So the reason why I'm bringing this, as you can see, people are still living in their own delusioned world. If you don't know anything about your history, but you claim you know something about history, then really, truly look it up, because nowhere does it says that black people call themselves niggers or niggars. Where? Where did they say that? Because according to the history books I was taught when it was blacks only and whites only fountains and bathrooms and all this other stuff, why would a black person, especially back in that day, call themselves niggas? when they were known as to be blacks. But since the word was used so far, so much back in the 50s, 60s, 40s, everybody used that word. That word was known all over the globe that we were Negroes. Even though I know that person's not going to watch my show, which is fine. One day I might speak up or get somebody who can type. But the thing I want everybody to understand is the origin of nigger. It didn't come from blacks. I can tell you that. Always keep in the back of your mind, blacks didn't know how to read or write. What do we need to read and write for if we came from Africa, as you say? We were just running around in huts naked, killing things, building straw houses. That's what these white people tell us. That we were uneducated buffoons, that were Neanderthals, and that we were the scariest people on the planet. But what the hell? Okay. But I'm getting off the subject now.
Are you passing?
L'chaim. I'm just saying, I will go back to that in a few. Drawing the line.
When is there a time to draw a line?
Work, home, relationship, kids, life, finances. Everything that we have talked about on this show for the last year, 3 years, last year, this year, up to this point, it has to come to a part in your life where you have to draw a line. If you at work and you have a bad job, and two of us, three of us can contest to that we despise our work, you have to draw a line. Sometimes we're so deep into what we're doing because our bills dictate what we do with this job. Unfortunately, you cannot draw a line. But in the same token, our age is the one who draw the line for us. Because we know where once that phone 40 and 50. So where do you draw a line in this situation? You got to. If you are unhappy at work, you have to draw that line because it affects you when you go home. It affects you
when you get up.
When you get up.
And you don't want to go. You're like, why am I still here?
Yeah. Remember what the old saying was? If you land a job you love, you feels like you never worked a day in your life. What happened? What happened? Doesn't it? You ever went to a job or you did something and the atmosphere was so great,
yeah,
and they hired one person that completely destroyed that atmosphere?
Yep. I had a job that I really loved. I enjoyed everybody. Then people changed. Everybody went their different directions, and it was like, this is not the way it used to be.
Yep.
And we did our jobs. Even though we had a good time at our job, we did our jobs, and we worked together.
Mm-hmm.
But then as things changed, you get one person come in there, and everybody's not happy, or things are not the way they are. Mm-hmm. Then you're secretive, or you got to start fussing, or you got issues. So then all of a sudden, talk to the boss and say, okay, everybody needs to get into a meeting and you got to talk about what's going on. That's one thing I can say. And I mean this. If you're in a business that you're tired of everybody gossiping this, that, and the other, only way you're going to get that done, you get the boss, you get everybody in a meeting, and you finally say what you got to say. You might hurt somebody's feelings. You might have problems with that person, but you know what? Get it out. Because the longer you deal with it, the worse it's going to get.
Mm-hmm. It's a tumor.
And you might have to leave that job, but at least you got it out in the open and you finally said what you had to say.
You ever notice that, along with what she's saying, that for some reason they will fire all the better workers but leave that tumor there? And they can't figure out what just happened. Then all of a sudden that tumor becomes that worst employee that they're expected to be. Because, here's what tumors do. I could do the job better than all these people in here. Don't you see me coming to work? Yeah, they come to work late. They don't show up for their own shift. They always got an issue.
Or they gotta leave early.
Or they got to leave early. But yet, it's kind of funny how management takes the tumor side. Moving on to home. Same thing with the home. The thing about the home that I want everyone to understand is when you draw the line is, if you lay with this person and you didn't figure out what you got nobody to blame but yourself. You can't go blaming grandma, your parents, your sisters, your siblings, your children, because you laid down with that person to create that negative atmosphere.
Right, Misty. They were just there for the check.
That's it. And it comes back to relationship. Look how it is. Work, home, relationship. Look how I'm just trying to tie it all in a knot for you.
Well, relationships can be just the same as going to a job. When you don't want to get up and go to your work because you know it's going to be horrible. Sometimes you're at work, you're enjoying work. You don't want to come home to what you got at home.
Yeah. I mean, who the hell want to come home and argue about nothing? You worthless son of a... You did...
And then you walk through that door.
Like, what the hell?
And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to walk out the door and I'm going to try this again.
Y'all can't tell me y'all been in a bad relationship. You still drove around the block twice. There's many times I drove home and I looked at the house and I kept going and tried to act like, oh, I forgot something at the store. I had been driving around the block like 2 or 3 hours just because I didn't want to go home.
Or even been in a relationship. They've been asleep. You packed up and left and then come back home and get back in bed. They don't even realize you even gone.
I'm just saying. Kids. You know, I know we all love our kids, grandbabies and whatever, but sometimes you got to realize in life that they are just duds. They are just duds. Sometimes
they might not be just duds. They might be because they're just like you and they can drive you crazy.
I reckon, but I call them duds. Sometimes you just can't help a child. Sometimes you just can't.
Yeah, you do have to leave. Finally, that's why I left. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, man. Again, as I break the cycle, because obviously y'all love you love what we just did. But look what I'm saying. All this stuff comes back to you. Because no matter how many times you point the finger of who also has at fault, it still comes back to you.
That's because 3 fingers are pointing right back at yourself.
Why do we keep subjecting ourselves to misery?
Well, we don't. We want to find different ways to change it, but it's you know.
Do you walk what you preach? Because I do.
Kenny said, Leslie, hope you are well, young man. He ain't that young.
I am young. I'm young. Oh, yeah, we're going to need an intervention over there. But life. Let me tell you something. Again.
Because it's easy, yep.
You guys need to realize one thing. One thing. Dustin Diamond, who's 44 years old, just died. You watched him grow up. You watched everything that went wrong in his life. You watched him. And he just died. We are not promised tomorrow. But we have to live for today. And the thing that has changed for me was I have understood this concept now. And now I'm starting to build a brick wall. I let certain people in that I shouldn't. And I have great friends that I'm surrounded by. But I'm also trying to do great things. I have no interest in what the hell?
Dude, we're over here, not over there.
I have no interest in trying to save the world. That is not my job.
Well, just like the struggle is real, but I'd rather struggle and be happy than be in misery.
Yeah.
You know, you have to struggle to make it for yourself. But once you get to that point that you did it, you made yourself happy, and you are where you at today because you did it, not because somebody got you there and then put you in misery after you got to where you're going. And you need to be careful. Once you get yourself situated, get yourself up there, don't let somebody bring you down, put you back in misery.
Yeah. Look, guys, and Misty, you need to be talking to me because we're supposed to be doing some business here. Now back
She's
to what I'm
talking
saying.
to you now.
I'm talking. Just. What I'm saying is, when God opens your eyes to the reality of life, and you have your spiritual goggles on, you will now start to see snakes. So that whole snake talking to Eve is bullshit. Snakes are human beings or figures that you see that is living and breathing. And they are able to talk to you in a siren song, which is in a way that is so beautiful to your ears, you have to listen to it. My mom asked me, why you cuss so much? Because, Mom, here's the reality of life. We have been so snowballed by crap that by the time we realize at 40 or 50 years old how much time we wasted, that we just know that there's only 20 more years before I'm unable to walk, talk, breathe. The elements is going to start hitting. I'm no longer young enough to do what I used to do. So all them old cliches about, oh, you as young as you feel, bullshit. Because at the end of the day, if I'm feeling it now, I'm going to feel it in 20 more years. The back pains. Oh my God, I can't tie my shoe no more. Oh my God, what was I doing?
I don't tie my shoes now. Mine are tied, and I use what you call that thing? Put it back in your foot and put it on.
There's nothing like a sad feeling you get in your car and you forget where you're going. There's nothing like a sad feeling when you're driving down the street and you forget which way to turn.
Oh my God, that's horrible. You've been going down the road and all of a sudden you sit there and you go, oh my God, where am I at? Did I miss my turn? Did it? Oh my gosh, where am I? And then you're like, okay, wait a minute. Calm yourself down.
Yeah. You ever done that?
Then you see something and you're like, okay, I'm good. I got this. I'm good.
You see the same road
every day.
And all of a sudden one day that road becomes distant to you.
Because you can do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Oh. I know, but I kind of set myself on fire. That's not good. That does hurt.
I know, baby.
Badly.
I'm laughing at the joke you just said. I know you set yourself on fire. I was there, remember?
Only things you should regret are the things you don't do in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If you would get out there and do the things that you need to do.
Don't even look over here. You need to practice what you preach.
I don't need to practice what I preach. I do what I want.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
Finance.
You know what?
Finance is the last thing I got to say about this subject. Because I'll put it to you this way. My mother and I talked. Some things happened to her. And like I explained to her, and it made me upset because for the first time I have realized that after many years of struggle, from God knows when to my dad leaving to this point with my marriage and everything that's happened, for the first time in my life, I've realized I'm finally above water. Not just above water. I'm standing on my own foundation that's unbreakable by God. My foundation that is no longer torn by greedy hands or demonic entities, or because believe me when I tell you, there's nothing more demonic. And people think demonic is not meaning just a person. Demonic is everything. Everything negative around you. Bills are negative. What is so happy about a damn bill? Nothing.
One time bill is positive is they happen to send you the extra money back because you spent too much.
I mean, if we could just go to a car dealership right now and they give us the keys to the car, then that's something happy. But we as Americans don't do that. Or go to McDonald's and say, hey, can I take your order? But we don't do that either. Bills. Money is the root of all evil.
Oh gosh, yes.
But yet you want to go crypto. working, life, love, happiness. All the stuff that our parents keep telling us about that don't exist. Oh, but it does exist for the chosen few. But the ones who don't understand, look, lust is the temporary fix to what you really want out of life. Lust. It is the God's honest truth. And boy, I would love to teach kids that. It's not about you doing the physical act of sex. It's the whole concept, man. No matter how many women you lay with, it's still the same result. Because believe me, that few minutes that you're inside that female has nothing to do with a bill that's going to be there next month. You can sleep with all the females you want, but it's not going to pay no bills. There is no credit card for your penis or your vagina. You've still got to pay bills, man. That's the whole concept. Parents ain't teaching you about a credit score. Parents ain't even teaching you anything. They claim they are. But how's the SOL test teaching children how to, hey, you know what you need? You need about a 700 just to get something started. Inquiries. If you get too many inquiries, it also lowers your credit score, which you can end up with a 500 in 6 months. So when you go to a dealership and they're charging you 25% interest because you got a 500 credit rating, does anybody tell you that? No. Oh, LeBron James, he's getting all this stuff because the man works hard for it.
Envy somebody else because you don't always know what they're going through.
Just because people have money don't mean they're happy.
Exactly. Who is this guy, Bill, and why does he want all my money
Exactly.
before I even get it?
How are you married to a person, but you got your fiance, your mistress over here, Bills or Billy, who just want everything? How are you splitting your money? You go out here every day. Bills don't work, but yet you work every day. Taxes don't work. Insurance don't work, but they get half your money. But if you're a congressman, I'm pretty sure they work out some type of deal where they get all their money. I'm just saying. Look, we out because
we're drawing the line.
We draw the line.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Misty. Misty, we need to talk. I need a shirt.
So,
hello?
We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good one.
Listen to this is my phone. So I can throw it at somebody.
No, you ain't got to throw anything.
you got to say.
We're not throwing.
Hey, you know
YHJFX. YHJFX. YHJ.
Yeah. I'm so tired of hearing about that damn Lois Lane. I don't know what to do.
It's not who you know, it's who you.
Love you, Misty.
Yes, sir.
Love you, Misty.
Oh, for all the rest of you that are watching, because we see some eyes coming up, thank y'all for watching. You can comment anytime you want. We'd like to know who you are.
No, we don't.
And if we do know who you are, have a good night.
Welcome to YHJ. Welcome to YHJ.